Hey, what's happening? This is Cantave coming to you from my home here, and wanted to shoot a quick video to share a thought that I had about being yourself. It's Friday here in Chicago. I was working on my book, actually working on an ebook for my blog, and that's going to take a little bit of time. I actually just decided to implement that last minute, and just trying to do some more stuff, with my blog and kind of add some more content there. So that's in addition to the manuscript that I'm working on for my book that's due out in the spring. But it's cold here in Chicago. It's fall. Fall is finally here. I think we saw the last 70-degree day yesterday, and we are first week of November. So it's typical, right? Fall is typically short. I want to say it's maybe 6 weeks at tops at the best. I always love fall. But probably in for the night, probably won't be doing too much. But I wanted to share a thought about being yourself. And when I say being yourself, what I mean is the challenge of being who God created you to be while being able to participate in the grander scheme of society. So without getting too technical, the idea of being yourself and still balancing that line where you can have meaningful relationships, where you can have a meaningful marriage, where you can have great friendships with other people, you know how to socialize, you know how to network, and you don't have to always feel like you're compromising your values and compromising yourself to make other people happy when you probably don't mind making other people happy. You probably don't mind doing other things for other people, but the expectation between people typically differs, right? People expect you to do X, Y, and Z, expect you to be this and that, and then they have their own set of expectations. But I want to use two examples of being yourself. You think about, and I'm gonna use one very extreme example. I know a lot of you all are gonna argue me on this. Let's use Kanye West, right? Kanye West, when you look at him, he's been all over the tabloids. People have bashed him for things that he said. He had the snafu with Taylor Swift. Donald Trump went and said we should ban everything Kanye, and even he got into an argument with Sway on Sway's morning show on Shade 45, which was very popular. I think it happened last year. And I heard him say that people want him to keep making music when he was going on this rant about him being the Da Vinci of his time or whatever, right? Saying that he was the greatest artist of his time, saying that, he isn't just music. He's going and he's making these clothes, and he feels like he compares himself to Steve Jobs. You probably heard me say this before, but I heard Puffy say in an interview when he was being interviewed about Sean John that you have to be completely crazy and out of your mind to think that you can be successful in certain areas of your life, especially when it comes to like a fashion brand. I mean, when you look at some of these people, and me using Kanye as an example, if he wasn't truly true to himself and himself, he probably wouldn't be successful now. If he always listened to what other people said and said, well, you should do this and you should do that, and always ceded to everybody else's expectations and their perceptions of what they think he should be and how he should make himself, they would, he wouldn't be successful, right? And he's very adamant about being himself. He makes no excuses for it. He doesn't apologize. He'll piss you off and he'll say something crazy, but then next week he'll go sell 1 million albums, right? I mean, he just does not care. Here's what I'm saying, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but it comes to the point where you think that if you're always appeasing and pleasing people, that they're gonna like you, and that may or may not be the case. I'm not saying that you don't do things to get along, cooperate, and have meaningful relationships. What I am saying is you have to find a healthy balance between being yourself and drawing the line with people to say, this is who I am, and I'm not budging from that, and then putting the onus of acceptance on other people. And you just have to do that. Otherwise, you'll constantly be affected by the criticism and the noise of other people telling you, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. I don't think you should do this. And then you're constantly going back and forth and change your mind. The second extreme example I'm going to use is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is leading the Republican polls, and people don't think he should be leading the Republican polls, but he is. Do I agree with a lot of stuff that he says? No. He's a billionaire businessman, obviously successful. Nobody can deny that. He's in a place where maybe a lot of us would want to be financially, but aren't. So is it about these two individuals? Is it about the money that they're making? What is it? When we say being yourself, if being myself allowed me to get to that point, well, I'm this billionaire, and I had to piss a whole bunch of people off, is it worth it? That question I can't answer for you. But I think you would feel a lot more comfortable with yourself and a lot more sure of yourself, and you would walk with a lot more confidence of self if you went about your day each and every day not concerned about the thoughts of other people. It's not that you don't care. I hate it when people say that and then they don't come with a kind of like a disclaimer after that. When I say that, what I mean is you be yourself, but you still care about people. You don't diss people. You don't say I'm gonna be myself and then diss people. I know probably Kanye maybe he didn't mean to diss people, but he would just speak his mind. He's done that successfully, and he's still successful doing what he does. So does Donald Trump. So this video is going on 7 minutes. What I want to say this weekend to you, if you second guessed yourself or thought to yourself that I need to be a certain way to have certain people in my life, or I always need to explain, or I always need to be a certain way to get and receive love, you don't have to do that. You can be yourself. But I also want you to think about being yourself starts with love. Like if you love yourself and you love other people, you're going to operate from that place. You're not going to operate from a place of fear and insecurity, right? To kind of coerce people to twist their arm to do things, right? You truly care about people. You truly care about them. You care about them as much as you can care about them, and then you keep it moving after that. If you give what you have to give and then you have nothing more to give, you have nothing more to give, then you have nothing more to give after that, right? So always care about people. Always consider other people's feelings, but also consider your own and be authentic. And that's my word for the weekend. Have a safe weekend. Bundle up if you're in Chicago. If you're in Florida or LA somewhere, I've seen a couple people on my timeline that, in other warmer climates. Peace and love, gratitude.